The Cardinals came into this 6-4, and the Patriots came in at 4-6. And the Patriots had just lost the weekend before to the Texans. And everyone thought their season was over, myself included. I was like, okay, like they should have built on their previous wins, but they didn't. Ugly, gritty, tough win by the Patriots, 17-20. They upset the Cardinals. Like I said, like when I mean ugly, it was ugly. This is an ugly victory. The Cardinals had more passing yards, more rushing yards, more first down. They had a better third down percentage. They won the turnover battle 2-1 and had the ball for 8 more minutes. So they controlled the ball. They had more time of possession, and yet the Patriots still won. Let me repeat that one more time. Like, because they always break down, they always tell you, like, to win games, you got to win the turnover battle, control the clock, and convert third downs to keep the drives going. So the Cardinals, more passing yards, more rushing yards, more first downs, better third down percentage, and they won the turnover battle, and they had the ball for 8 more minutes, and they still lost. Crazy. Honestly, it still baffles me how the Patriots pull this off. What's it called? They had like 69 yards passing for the game. Cam Newton struggled to get anything going. The offense looked ugly, and yet they still found a way to win. And the one note I have from this game is special teams and defense. Don't you ever underestimate the impact that special teams can have on a game and defense. But special teams put the Patriots in position to score twice. The first Patriots touchdown came after a long kickoff. Cardinals, they got the ball at the Cardinals 46 yards to go. When your offense is struggling, it's amazing. Nothing better for an offense that's struggling than a short field. And then the defense came up with a huge goal line stand to keep it 10-7. 10-7, I believe in the second half. They stopped the wide receiver at the 1 yard line. They had called it a touchdown, and then they reviewed it and he was down. And then the Cardinals went for it on 4th down, and they stopped Drake at the 1 yard line, held it to a 10-7 game. And then they had a long punt return that was supposed to be a touchdown, but there was a flag for a defender turning around and getting a block. So it wiped out the touchdown. But they got a field goal out of that, short field again. I think they only gained like 15 yards, and they're already in field goal range. And then batted ball. Kyler Murray was trying to get this pass, and then the defensive lineman raised his hand, batted up in the air, interception, and then they got the ball at the Cardinals 31, another short field, and then and then the game's tied 17-17, and Cam throws an ugly interception. If you're watching the game, it looks like he threw the game away. 17-17. Cardinals get the ball back. You're thinking, okay, all they got to do is get a couple first downs, and they'll be in field goal range. They do. They're in field goal range. I believe it was a 49-yard field goal, somewhere around there. The Cardinals kicker misses it wide right. Patriots get the ball. They do nothing on first down. They do nothing on second down. 3rd and 13. Cam Newton keeps it, runs for a first down, gets the 3rd and 13. And then the rookie, Isaiah Simmons, hits him in the head, hits him as he's exiting the field. Personal foul, 15-yard penalty, helps the Patriots up. They move the ball up. They get into field goal range, and Nick Folk hits the game winner, and the Patriots escape. And the Patriots keep their season alive. They go up to 5-6. It's still a long road ahead for the Patriots. They have a lot of teams ahead of them. The Raiders, the Titans, or the Colts now. The Raiders, the Colts, the Browns. Who's the other ones? The Dolphins. And one more. The Bills. No. Who's the other AFC? The Ravens. Yeah, they have the Ravens. There you go. Ravens, Colts, Raiders, Colts, Browns, Dolphins, Raven. The point is they have 5 teams. They have 5 teams ahead of them. Ravens, Raiders, Dolphins, Browns, Colts. There you go. Those are the teams that are ahead of them. There's still a long way. 5 teams ahead of them. They got to jump up 3 spots. The schedule is kind of tough. 5-6. I don't know if they could do it. Realistically, to get a playoff spot, they might have to run the table, finish 10-6. I don't think 9-7 will do it, to be honest. But they could dream. They keep their chances alive. They beat the Cardinals. I didn't think they could do that. I thought the offense for the Cardinals was too strong, too potent for them to beat them. And somehow, some way, special teams came through, defense came through, huge goal line stand, huge turnover to get the ball at the 31, and Cardinal special teams let them down. If their kicker makes that field goal, it's a different story. If they're able to, defend on special teams, the kickoffs, Patriots had nothing going for them. Their offense was struggling the whole game. Cam Newton finished with 84 yards passing, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, 50% completion rate. Like I said, it's an ugly victory by the Patriots. But like Cam Newton said after the game, I'm not going to apologize for winning. And I mean, that reminded me of what Nick Foles said. Nick Foles said earlier when the Bears were like 5-1, and he's like, "Oh, I would rather win ugly than lose good," or like I would rather play ugly and win play ugly and win than play good and lose. And we saw how that turned around. Like everyone said, that's not sustainable. You can't do that for the whole season. And lo and behold, I think since he said that, they're 0-5, they're 5-6, they're out of the playoff picture. I think, same thing for the Patriots. Is this sustainable? I don't think so. They got to eventually find something on their offense. They got to be able to play a little better or a lot better, because they're not always going to have their special teams to bail them out and give them short fields. And the defense isn't always going to make a goal line stand at the 1 yard line. And they're not always going to get a turnover in the opponent's field. So Patriots got to turn around. The Cardinals, disappointing loss. I had a lot of hopes for the Cardinals. I thought they could potentially challenge the Seahawks for the division 2 weeks ago, but now they're just trying to hold on to that last playoff spot. They are the 7th seed. Now in the playoffs, there is going to be 7 playoff teams as of this year, so they're in the playoffs right now. And thankfully for them, the teams behind them, I don't think they're really a threat. Niners, Vikings, and Bears are all 5-6. Like I said, the Bears just lost 5 in a row. They were 5-1. Don't think they have it. I don't think they have it in them to make up the ground. Vikings 5-6. They're probably the most dangerous team that could potentially catch up to them. Niners 5-6. They're dangerous just because their coach is elite, but they lost their quarterback. They lost a lot of people on defense, and they're in a tough division. So I don't see them, making up that much ground in the division they play. So Cardinals should still be fine as far as playoffs, but these type of losses should not be acceptable. Year 2 of the program, so maybe you could get away with it. Going forward, next year, the year after that, these are the type of wins the Cardinals have to win with Kyler Murray as their quarterback if they want to be a real elite team. But Cardinals have Rams, Giants, Eagles, Niners, Rams. So the Rams twice, the Giants, the Eagles, and Niners. 3-2 should be enough in the NFC this year to make the playoffs, because then that would mean either the Vikings, the Niners, or the Bears have to go 4-1. And I don't believe any of those teams is going to go 4-1. So 3-2, just beat the Giants, beat the Eagles, and beat the Niners, and we should be good. The Cardinals, and maybe split with the Rams. I think they could beat the Rams, but we'll see. And the Patriots, they're not done yet. Chargers, Rams, Dolphins, Bills, Jets should beat the Chargers and the Jets. Rams, Dolphins, Bills. We'll see. That's going to be 3 tough games. Realistically, they have to run the table just because there is 5 teams. Let's see if I can get it right this time. Raiders, Colts, Browns, Ravens, and Dolphins are all the teams ahead of them. So they do get a chance against the Dolphins to make up a little bit of ground. But it's going to be a rough road for the Patriots to make it back to the playoffs. I think the streak is over this year. But you can't say they're not fighting. You can't say they're giving up. And Belichick has them at least trying to, salvage their season. But it's a weird year. It's okay, Patriots. You can come back next year. I'm sure the fans would like them to make the playoffs. But, hey, they've been spoiled the last 20 years. I think one bad season of not making the playoffs is fine. And we'll see how Belichick retools next season. But they're not there yet, like I said. 5 games to go. If they run the table, they have a chance. We'll see.